I'll let you get situated.
What did I do?
Thank you so much for coming on. Take your time. I think you have to, there's a video to the left. Maybe you have that turned off, honey. You see the, there he is. Yay.
That must have been it. That must have been the problem.
I love it, man.
How are you doing?
I'm good, good. How are you?
I couldn't be better if I worked at it.
Honey, I'm so glad. You rock, Tom. I got a chance to read all your wonderful accomplishments.
I mean,
rock and roll.
I got paroled early and you know, the other time I got off for some time for good behavior, right?
Right.
You know, and then I got a couple of them reduced from felonies to just.
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you're in Utah right now. So wait, let me introduce Tom Proctor first. For my fans, this is Tom Proctor. He's a actor, writer, producer, filmmaker. He's out in Utah right now shooting did you write this, Tom?
Yeah, I did.
He also writes this. What's the name of the film that you're working on out in Utah?
It's called Guilt, you know, which it's kind of funny. You know, with COVID and everything, work just went.
Yeah.
You know, I had band gigs lined up with, you know, to open for major shows. I had things in line, and then all of a sudden, wham, nothing.
Yeah.
And I came out here to, you know, just because there's literally like almost no cases of COVID out here.
Right. Makes sense.
And so, so I came out here for that, and then I have a little nephew out here who's, you know, kind of enamored by the, you know, this uncle's from Hollywood and does all these movies, Guardians of the Galaxy and whatever.
Oh man, I like 90 credits, acting credits. 12 Years a Slave, on and on and on.
Yeah, it's been a good life for me. But you know, anyway, he kept saying, you know, we should make a movie. You know, we could do it. We could make a movie out here. You know, it wouldn't cost anything to make a movie out here. And I was talking to my manager, and she says, you really should. You should. She says, you're a good writer. You've got screenplays that have won awards at several festivals and everything like that. And I said, she said, just pick one and do one. And I said, every one of those, my better screenplays would be, you know, $1 million budgets minimum. She said, well, just write one around locations you can get and everything like that. And you know, so the first instinct is to write a horror film, of course. You know, it's the easy grab and everything like that. And, you know, then my nephew kept saying, what's the point in having a famous uncle if you can't make a movie with him while he's in quarantine?
Right.
And then, you know, then we had the problems of making the movie with COVID because, you know, even though there's not a lot of it in the area, you have to respect it, and you know, so we kept the crew was minimal. This film, had I shot this movie with an LA crew, minimal LA crew, it had been shot out in 8 days. You know, it's been 8 weeks shooting around people's time schedules, and it's presented a lot of problems and a lot of learning experience for me. So, I mean, I've wound up. My first clue to not make a movie in this town should have been the fact that you can't rent the camera packages.
Right.
So I wound up, I thought, okay, I can't rent one. I'll just buy a, you know, Blackmagic Pocket Cinema, shoots in 6K. And if you add the prime lenses to it, and then lighting packages have gotten smaller and smaller. I used to run grip trucks, and I had 2 10-ton trucks, 2 5-ton trucks.
Wow.
And a little 4-ton, what we called the Indy truck that we called Chubby. And it was because he just was set up with the generator and the whole 9 yards just to rock and roll. Yeah. But you know, the days of that is over. You know, we got some lighting kits that would do amazing thing and switch from tungsten to day.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
It's, you know, amazing what you can do with a small camera, small everything.
Yeah. So you went and you bought a little pocket-sized Blackmagic.
Yeah, but it's called the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. It shoots in 4K resolution.
Fantastic.
And I bought Rokion prime lenses, and it really, oh my gosh,
Stunning.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
Stunning, stunning.
Yeah.
So did you act, did you star in that too?
Unfortunately, I will never do that again.
Yeah, it's a lot of work when you're directing, starring, and you got a DP though. Your DPs, of course, you know. I saw your camera guy. I stalked your Facebook page.
The DP, even the DPs were being unseasoned. And
I love it. I love it. And one more time, what's the name of it?
It's called Guilt.
It's a feature.
Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
But we got really good
go
performances out of local actors, and
wow,
it was amazing.
Did you do a casting call and all that?
Yes. And and I've done, I of course I've taught acting classes in Los Angeles. I used to teach at Central Studios, and I still teach online and everything like this. And I've been involved in the casting process before.
Yeah.
But when I first started casting here, the auditions I got was like, oh my God, they're horrifyingly bad. I thought, how does anybody make a movie here? And then you would get ones that were just really good. The only difference between this and Los Angeles is there's no in the middle. There's nobody who's growing from this point to this point. They're either there or not.
Right.
And I think that's a lot because Utah talent, like myself, I started off in Utah.
Right. You're born and raised? You're born and raised in Utah?
Yeah, yeah.
Did your nephew get in the film? Didn't you start this whole process? Didn't you started this whole process to have your nephew get involved?
Yeah,
what did he do?
He's the DP on it.
Oh, he's a DP. Fabulous.
Yeah. And
good for him.
He's a camera geek beyond geek, which made me think that he'd be okay as a director of photography.
Sure.
Then we got to the first lighting setup, and I went, oh shit. And I flat told him, I says, you're just not a DP. You can't do this. And there the kid looks at me heartbroken. And the next thing the next thing I know, he comes back the next day and goes, okay, this is our shot list. This is where our lighting placement is. I says, and I looked at his lighting placement. I says, Jordan, how did you overnight suddenly know how to light things? He says, well, there's this app online that teaches you what it is. You tell them where your thing is and what the lights are.
I love it.
And every time
I've used it myself. Yes, I know what
every time we run into a new problem, I'll say, what do we do with this? And I'll say, I can't figure this out. And that's what's funny is I was getting mad at the kid because I thought, this kid's ignoring me and doing his Facebook. Because we'd hit a problem or something that was a real showstopper, for lack of a better word. And there'd be Jordan on his phone like this.
Yeah.
I said, Jordan, this is not the time to be on your phone. We got to figure this out. I'm going to call some people. And I'd be calling DPs and other people I knew. And here's Jordan on his phone.
Wow.
And I just wanted to slap him. I thought, the kid is just ignoring me.
Right.
And I'd say, Jordan, are you paying attention to what I'm saying? Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden, he goes, oh, we do this, this, and this.
Wow.
And so a lot of times, it just proves that if you're determined and you have heart, I'll bet on heart over talent and knowledge any day of the week.
Fantastic.
Because the ones that supposedly had that knowledge really didn't. And there's nothing more dangerous on a movie set than someone who don't know what they don't know.
Oh, yeah. Double ignorance. Yikes.
This little camera crew I got right now both say, we don't know anything. And they learn it and they get it. And so we got a pretty good little movie coming out. And
that's amazing. Are you still shooting?
Unfortunately, yes. I'm going to go back to Los Angeles right now and start the editing process.
Right. So you're in editor too.
And get a thing up. And because we've got some pickup shots, and then But we had a issue with the motorcycle, which is like one of the main stars in it, broke down and had to get a starter motor. So while it's getting, why the motorcycle's in ICU getting tender loving care, we're going to run to LA and start the editing process, and then we'll come back and finish about 6 days.
Draft laid out. You could lay out a nice draft to see what you have.
Yeah.
Amazing. I love it. Good for you. Good for you. So how does a guy from Utah wind up in LA? You know, you wake up one morning, you grew up on a farm or a ranch or what?
I grew up punching cattle up in the Ochre Mountains.
Wow.
And this is what's really funny. I got a kid at the Toyota dealer this morning. I just bought a new Toyota, and I had one of those clear bras put on the front of it so rock chips don't hit it as I go back and forth from LA. And the kid says, I looked you up. He says, I just one question. You know, and I know it's a hard question, but how did you get your life? Did you know you were going to have your life? And I said, a lot of people really work to have my life. I can honestly say I tripped and fell in it.
Amazing.
Because even though when I was a kid coming up, from the time, the same thing motivated me to get in the movies that motivated Quentin Tarantino. I found that out on the set of Django. Was the movie Billy Jack.
Oh, of course.
There I was, a young kid training under Bong Soo-han in the same style of martial arts, Hapkido. And at the Temp Drive-In Theater, I go see Billy Jack. And I'm going, oh, I know all those kicks. I know all those moves. I could be a movie star. And because Billy Jack did, and his teacher is the same as my teacher, you know, 3 times removed, because my instructor's instructor, but still, and so I decided right there and there I wanted to be in movies.
Wow.
And in what little bit of high school theater we had, I would try to get involved in.
Right.
And it was a reverse prejudice because the theater people didn't like me because I, plain and simply, I was not only not hiding the fact that I was not gay, but most of them was, because it was Utah, was hiding the fact that they were gay. And so they were, and I didn't know, I wasn't even bright enough to catch on that was a problem.
Right.
But it was.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was. I couldn't figure it out. I didn't figure it out until I ran into one of them later in Los Angeles. I said, when I was trying to do theater, how come you guys didn't like me? And they said, how come a chicken wouldn't be comfortable with a coyote in the hen pen? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, we're all gay, and you were the big white guys that beat up gay guys.
Oh, right.
I never beat up a gay guy in my entire life.
Right.
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't
You don't
care.
even know what that is, yeah.
Yeah.
But
so
they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do that, and I kept getting told, look, you live in a town that only has one grocery store, don't even have an own police department. You're not going to get in the movie business. And then one day they were filming a film called Trackers Down, and they put it in the wrong mountain, basically. They had permits on the other side of the hill, and they built their town in our range ground.
Wow.
And we went, I'll never forget, Chalk, and Michael went riding up over the hill. We could hear these guns going off. But the guns, I said, what the hell kind of gun makes a noise like that? Because the gun was going, pat, pat, pat. And I said, and then Michael said, well, maybe they're just really shitty shots or shooting in the air. Because when a real bullet goes off and you're at a distance, you know, on an average, you know, even a 357, 38, they're traveling anywhere from 950 to 2750 feet per second. So you would hear a pop, hear the bullet hit first, and we're not hearing a pop. We're just hearing this pat, pat, and it was really tinny sound. Couldn't figure out what it is. So we ride up over the hill, and we still see that they built half a town there.
Wow.
And I said, why did they build the whole half a town on our ground?
Right.
And then Michael laughed. He says, because they don't know what that wind's going to do this evening. He says, they built a giant hang glider.
Wow.
And
oh, right. It's going to take off. Oh, shit.
So we go down there, we ride down, and it was the funniest thing because this one guy was having trouble with this horse. He's yanking the horse around, and the horse threw him. And he grabbed a board and picked the board up and hit the horse with it. Well, that won't go over with any of the Ochre Mountain boys.
Right.
And
wow.
I took the board away from him, walked over the horse, got the horse calmed down, got on him, circled him around a few times. And this little Australian first AD comes running up and goes, what, you guys aren't even supposed to be on this side. All the extras are supposed to be holding on the other side. And Chalk looks over at him and I look over at him and Chalk says, we ride up any side we want right here.
Oh, shit.
And he goes, what did you say to that horse? We've been trying to calm that horse down. What did you say to that horse? And Chalk says to me, he says, should I roll one? I said, not yet. And what roll one means, just so you know, in the Ochre Mountains, it's ochre brush. And so you don't keep a bullet under the chamber of the next one in because you'll shoot your own damn leg off.
Oh, shit.
But when you're ready for a gunfight, you roll the cylinder. Now the next one is live.
Wow.
And Chalk said, well, should I roll one? I said, no, let's talk to him first. And this guy started just yelling at me, what did I say to that horse? And I stepped down off the horse face to face with this man. I said the same thing to that horse I'm going to say to you right now. He goes, what? That's all I didn't want to know. I just want to know what you said to that horse. I told him, let's not hurt each other.
Oh.
Now the horse made the right choice. Now I'm saying the same thing to you. Let's not hurt each other, okay?
That was so sweet.
And then I said, where's the owner of that horse? And the guy that was on it says, I own that horse. Says, no, you don't. I said, where's the owner of this horse? And the first AD says, you got to give him back the horse. I said, I'm not giving him back the horse. I want to meet the owner of this horse. And he goes, what makes you think he's not the owner? I says, because this is a good damn horse. And somebody that treats a horse like that, it would not be a good horse. And I assure you, when the owner finds out that he hit this horse with a board,
wow,
I said, he's going to shove that board up that guy's wazoo.
Right.
And sure enough, he didn't own the horse. And the guy who did was not a happy camper. So we started right there doing stunts and herding cattle and hired right on the spot. And
wow. Wow, meant to be, meant to be. I love, that is so amazing.
It's kind of the same thing with my guitar. I won the guitar in an arm wrestle 6 years ago. And no, 7 years ago.
Did you write a song about that? You won a guitar in an arm wrestle?
No, I didn't write a song about that, but I wrote a lot of songs. And then I was on the television series Nashville.
Right.
And during one of the lunch breaks, I was off playing a song. And this gal was one of the music supervisors in Nashville. And she says, whose song is that? And I said, it's mine. She goes, what do you mean it's yours? I said, my song. She goes, you wrote that song? And I said, yeah. Who wrote the music for it? I said, I did. She goes, you wrote that song? And I said, yeah. And she goes, how many songs you got like that? I said, about 10. She goes, are they registered with BMI? And I said, I don't know what BMI is. She goes, you don't know what BMI is? Looked at me like I was an idiot. I said, I know what a BM is, but you don't want to talk about that. And she says, but they're copywritten. I said, no. She goes, oh my goodness. Okay, well, just make sure you don't play them any place public. Like, you're not playing public with them, are you? And I said, yeah, matter of fact, tonight after we work, I'm playing in this coffee shop down here because I like to play and I line up gigs everywhere I go. Yeah. She goes, no, they'll steal your, this is Nashville, they'll steal your songs. And I said, yeah, and I'll show up and break their legs. Yeah. And she goes, well, that would get their legs broke, but it won't get you your royalties.
Wow.
And so she hooked me up with different people, and then Michael Whitney got involved. A great guy, and he was putting the band together with me and was ready to do things. And then his wife came down with the most horrifying cancer, and terrible things happened there. And but he lined me up with the guys, the old dance hall doctors, Tim McGraw's old band. And we wound up going into Dark Horse Studios, recording my first album. And then we said, okay, we got an album. Now what do we do with it? And I said, well, I'm just going to enter it in K-Dub Country, one of the bigger country music things. And we won. We were finished in the top 5 in 5 categories. I won Best Song of the Year and Songwriter of the Year. And then put it out on Dart charts, you know, to what I didn't know. I thought, okay, my songs are good. I'll break this album. I'll put them out. I'll take them around to all the radio stations, even if I have to do it old school where I just go there, set up in front of the radio stations and start playing. The radio stations are all Billboard now. So the disc jockey does not have a choice what he plays.
Right.
So I sent the songs overseas, and they're sitting the charts all over there.
Wow.
And you know, and streaming and something like that. And with the amazing thing about streaming is if you get, like, I've had 5 songs streaming in the top 5 for over 6 months.
Wow.
And I can take the money I've made from that and $3, and I can get a cup of coffee at most Starbucks.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a film on Amazon. I think they send me royalties. I giggle. I think it's like 3 cents. I think I've made about $3 off the film on Amazon.
Oh, wow. See, because when I told somebody I got $83 off of Spotify,
that's pretty damn good.
You got $83 on it?
Yeah.
I said, no, 83, not 8,300, 83.
Yeah.
Yeah, 83.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is funny, but I find it amazing that you're like so talented. Do your mom and your dad sing? Although, you know, you were ranchers, you can't be first generation. Yeah, acting, singing. I mean, you know.
My mother
Yeah.
had the voice of an angel.
Oh, how nice.
And always, oh, I love it. You got a cute little cat.
Oh, we got busted out, the cat. I'm surprised they came over. They're usually very antisocial.
He photobombed you.
He did. I love it.
You've been photobombed by your cat.
No.
No, my mom had a wonderful voice, and my grandmother always encouraged me to sing, even before I could play. I had an old Mickey Mouse guitar that wouldn't stay tuned. My grandmother, I'll have to send you a picture. My grandmother was dying of cancer, and so she was always cold, and we lived where we had, you know, just one coal stove heating the whole house. But she would tell me, keep singing, just sing, and you won't be poor anymore. That's what she kept telling me. And so, and my grandmother was a seer. She was a very strong psychic. And so we all believed what she said.
Right.
So my brother and I formed a band. I was the drummer, and we were going to be, you know, big rock singers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
When we got older, and then stuff like that, I found out when I started playing or drumming, I drummed with a lot of very top bands, and but you had to play the clubs. And Superman has kryptonite. I have cigarette smoke. Cigarette smoke, I was deathly allergic to it.
Wow.
I would literally be drumming. I had a throw up bucket that I would throw up in, keep drumming, go out on all the breaks and throw up. And then finally I just said, you know, Grandma must have been wrong about this when I can't do it.
Right.
And then got into the movie business, quit doing music for a long time, won the guitar, and just started learning how to play it. And then the first time I got called in to play in a bar, I actually, it's funny, the guitar saved my life because I got busted up on some stunt work in New Orleans, and I had no work, I had no money, I was living on the street,
Really?
And I'd break that guitar out and could make $200, $300 just singing on the street corner right there. And then bands that invite me in to be the front man. And so I think, oh man, I don't want to deal with the smoke. But there's no smoking in public places.
Right.
So I thought, yes, we're back. But when I got on the stage in the clubs with the band, you'd play 4 sets all night. The band would split the door or the percentage of whatever the bar was. And I'd walk out of there after 4 hours with $38 to $40. And I'm going, wait a minute. I can go back to my corner, play solo,
Right.
and I'll make more money than that.
Oh, shit.
But it's never been about the money. My music for me is, you know, all just stories. You know, I'm just barely now learning what the chords are I play. It's all just, it's story.
I just love it.
And it feeds my soul.
Wow.
So I don't really care what the pay is. I don't.
Yeah, it's not important.
That's
Yeah.
that's not important.
If you're doing things that you love for money, forget it.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm fanatical about it. Let me see if I can get it to where you can see.
I know it's fabulous. You're gonna sing a song for us when, or at least take us off out of here, singing a song. You said you would anyway. I mean, no pressure. No pressure.
What's that?
No pressure. No pressure, Tom.
To what?
To sing us out of here. Sing.
Okay.
So what song are you gonna sing for us?
This is a new one that's coming out in a movie called The Wrong Way.
Fantastic.
I haven't released it yet because I was going to let them release it first.
Right.
And it is it's really funny. They wanted my song "God Save Me" for this line dance, and then they sent me a piece of the movie, and I said, "Well, you're welcome to use that song." I knew the producer very well. Trudy Sargent had basically found out that I was doing Blue Ridge, which just came out on Voodoo, and I also do one of my own originals in there, sing it and perform it.
Right.
And when she found out, she says, she heard my song, can we use one of your songs for this? And but I watched the thing and I read the script and I says, no, this one, you're welcome to that one, but I can record this one that I think is a little better fit for the theme of your movie.
Amazing.
And it's kind of fun. You can tell it's small town. And again, like everything I do, it's all based on true stories, old pickup trucks and starting fights on Friday nights to impress some woman.
Right, fabulous.
But it goes like this.
Thank you so much.
I want to not be too loud, but I want you to be able to hear it. Let me see. I don't know how this will come across there, but let's find out. I'm sitting here in this old pickup truck. I'm out of money, but not out of luck. 'Cause honey, well, I got you. Now I remember that front porch suite. I only went there for just one thing, and baby, God, I wanted you. I never made $1 million, like I said I would. But honey, with a love like ours, I'm still good. Now I remember that Friday night, I was the one that started that fight, 'cause baby, I was impressing you.
said that old car wouldn't stop. I needed more time to win your heart and honey. But I got you. I never made $1 million like I said I would. But honey, with a love like ours, I feel good. I never made $1 million like I said I would. But honey, with a love like ours, I feel good. Now I remember things your daddy would say. He tried like hell to scare you away, but honey, I wanted you. And now our daughter's at Paris Saint May, and though they got you to send that away, and honey, she looks like you. Never made $1 million like I said I would. But honey, with a love like ours, I'm still good. And never made $1 million, oh, like I said I would. But honey, with a love like ours, I still good.
Oh, fantastic. Yes. Fantastic, Tom. Thank you so much.
You're sure welcome. You know, you always screw them up when you do them live for the first time.
It was phenomenal. It was beautiful. I loved it. It was great. I appreciate you so much for coming on. I appreciate you for singing. I mean, it's just been fantastic.
Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate helping. Not just a lot. I see you help a lot of people stay out there and get public recognition and all that stuff. And you put on a good show. And
Tom.
here's the thing. We all need people like you, because the one thing that any actor that's not a fool knows is if they're not in the public eye, they're forgotten. Unless, of course, you're as sexy as I am, and then it's a hard
Yeah,
one.
I don't understand. I said, I just think he's fantastic. But the only thing you haven't been, and I said I would ask on your show, is how did you not wind up in the cover of People magazine for the sexiest man of the year?
Oh, I turned it down.
Oh, okay. Because
I was feeling bad. Well, I was feeling bad. Here's George Clooney, walking around, and he's kind of homely,
Yeah, yeah.
And he just really needed it.
He needed it. That's so wonderful.
He needed it, and I'm one of those guys that give and give and give.
Yeah, you're so talented, and you just gave that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, darling. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a good day.
You too, Tom.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.